Good morning, good morning. Welcome everyone. 12th February over here, and looks like, what's this? Can you please have a look at this trade I'm in? Probably not, probably in a bit over here. Because I just joined the stream, man. Like I'm not a robot, honestly. If I was a robot, I'd look at it. Gotta have some patience. So, let's see here. All the systems are running up over here. People are coming in. Gulab is fully loaded. Perfect. Let's take a look what's going on over here. So pound yen seems like it created a low over here. So we created a low at pound yen. This is something I was looking at first thing in the morning when I woke up. And looking over here, was waiting for the candle to close bullish. And as it closed bullish, I think there was a very good opportunity for this price to continue moving up to retest this high. This is a pretty good trade setup, which I always like to take, right? These trade setups, I think they always work. You know, price had a bullish momentum. Price came up, created a high over here, came back down, created a low, created a support, and then there's a very high probability for it to continue up to retest this high at 144, 920. And if like the volume stays in this move, there's a very high probability for price to break this area to continue on towards 145. So that's something I'm just looking at, on a Friday here. There's no need to rush in a trade on a Friday. I mean, this looks like a good setup here too. Did you enter on a 30-minute close? Yes, I entered right around here, 144, 800-ish, for price to continue bullish. So this is kind of like my trade right now. I'm in right over here, for price to continue on up to this range, and then potentially with volume to continue pushing forward. Because if this setup I see every day, I'm going to take it every day. All right. Let's take a look at what's this chart over here. Ooh, sells on gold. Nice. Big body, indicated high volume, bearish pressure. Nice. Very nice. So I think we should be moving bullish over here either way. Even though it's a Friday, but this setup, man, this is like a money setup right over here. There's G7 high impact news all day. Is it advisable to trade? I think it's a Friday, so on a Friday, I think if you want to take like one trade on a Friday, that's still okay, right? But other than that, I mean, Fridays are mostly days where you can just reflect on how the week went, and I think it was a pretty dog shit week. There's like literally very bad volume this entire week. And I think most of this we can relate to the fact that, okay, fundamentally there's nothing happening. There's absolutely nothing happening fundamentally. Like, we have lockdowns in the UK, we have lockdowns all over the world. There are no statements being released. There are no news related to Brexit being released. There's nothing. No retail activity, no sales happening. So maybe that's why we're seeing these small ranges and very, very low volume at this time. Entered buys as the candle broke 15-minute. Oh yeah, nice. Very nice. You're in the same trade. Let's see here. So let's take a look at gold here. Gold is coming. Oh, gold came down to the support we had mapped out from yesterday in the Asian session. So when we sent the analysis, this is the area we were looking at for gold to tap into, 1812, and it seemed like we did tap into 1812. Looking at the smaller time frames and 30-minute time frames, yeah, this is a pretty good move over here. This happened in the pre-London. Nice. Played out really as expected. So now currently we're creating a support here on gold, 1817, and then we got another resistance right over here around 1820. Hey, I took a USD CAD buy earlier. Can you please help me see how you could have blah blah blah? Yeah, I think you need to send a chart so that we can take a look at it. Let's take a look at news over here. What happened overnight? Biden warns China to get. Oh, what? Warns China is going to eat our lunch if US doesn't get moving on infrastructure. Damn. If price goes against your direction on that trade, how can you manage risk on that? Okay, that's a pretty good question. So if you're in this trade over here based on a 30-minute candle closing bullish, and if you're looking at the smaller time frame, and if you're wondering how to manage risk, I think the only way to manage risk here would be if this 15-minute candle closes bearish, then you're basically closing 50% of your position, right? Because you want this candle to close bullish in order for the next 15-minute candle to continue moving bullish, right? But if it closes against you, then you're basically managing risk at that point. And then you're also looking at the 30-minute time frame over here, like, to maybe for this to also close bullish for the next ones to continue moving up. So looking on the 4-hour, now basically you're anticipating this 4-hour candle to continue moving up, right? So as it's coming down, so you're basically anticipating this is making like a liquidity wick, but at the same time we have this very, very strong resistance here, but we're counting on the volume to continue pushing price based on the smaller time frames, which is on the 1-hour time frame, which is on the 30-minute time frame, right? So slowly we're anticipating the smaller time frames to close bullish, so the overall 4-hour can continue moving bullish. So at this point, just gotta wait for the 15-minute candle to close and see how it closes. Looks like GJ might take our pips for lunch. Yeah, that might happen too. So that's why we have to manage risk, right? Have you noticed lately on Friday is when we have the best moves, or just me? Sometimes, Friday can have really good moves. It depends. It's all subjective. Ooh, looks like it's coming down. See, it's got 6 minutes left to close. If it closes bullish in the next 6 minutes, no. If it closes bearish, then I'd be closing 50% of my position at this point and letting the rest run. All right, yeah, gold is just ranging. GA is over here. Let's take a look at USD CAD. If you counter trade him, you guys will make 1,000 times more. No, probably not. You're gonna lose more than you win. I mean, sometimes we have losses. I mean, of course you're gonna win sometimes, but most times you're gonna lose because we have more wins. Yeah, we have more winning trades than losing trades, so that's what's gonna happen. So let's take a look at USD CAD over here. Let's break it down from the high time frames to the lower time frames. So we go towards the weekly. Weekly is just retracing. It was a pretty bearish candle over here. Looking at the daily, ooh, daily's coming up here slowly. Looking on the 4-hour now. 4 hours at a very, very strong resistance at this point. We got a resistance right over here. Looking at the 1-hour time frame. 1 hour is also creating that, like, price made a high around, 1.27500. Looking to the left hand side, really strong resistance there as well. Looking at the 30-minute time frame. All right, let's take a look at this over here. We got a support, we got resistance. If we measure this range, this is a 13 pip range. If we break the support, there's a probability we may continue down towards this next support right down over here. So now these are our ranges at this point now. It's like a 17 pip range, 18 pip range. But if we break up this resistance, we have another range going all the way up towards, 1.27650, this area over here. Also, we had a rejection to the left-hand side. So this is going to be something we should look out for here if someone's trading USD CAD. All right, let's take a look at, are you trading on Friday or just checking charts? I wasn't going to trade on Friday, but then I saw this setup on the 30-minute time frame, so I decided to give it a go. But since this 15-minute candle is going to close bearish over here in 4 minutes, so I'm going to close 50% of my position, and then I'm going to leave the rest running. But other than that, I'm just going to be looking at charts here, basically. So this is going to be my first loss for this week. I mean, if it ends up in a loss, basically. Let's take a look at this chart over here by KKung96. KKung96. GJ 30-minute, only considering to buy if this candle closes bullish. This is from the past, right? This isn't current price action. I don't think so. Yeah, this is from the past. I don't know what's going on over here. All right, let's take a look at this chart over here. 1 hour chart, 30-minute chart made a high. Seeing the context on this candle showed a rejection. See, this is where you're trusting the candles to close bullish, right? I mean, we have this strong resistance on like the 1 hour time frame. Let's take a look over here. So on the 1 hour time frame, we have this really strong resistance here, right? So this is where you're anticipating the smaller time frames to stay bullish so that we can break above these highs. But if they don't stay bullish, then basically you're managing risk at that point. So since there are like 2 minutes left for this candle to close, so this is where I'm going to close 50% right now. So I close 50% right over here, and then I'm leaving the rest running. And yeah, that's it. Like, I mean, if this situations happen over and over again, I'm going to take this trade over and over again, right? Because, you know, we had this clean structure to go up, but I guess the probability wasn't on our side over here. Plus also it's a Friday, you know, so it's better to stay a little risk averse over here at this point. So what's this 6 pip stop over here? It's around like 4 pip drawdown. Really coming down over here, so I'm going to close everything at this point. So I'll take a 4 pip loss over here. Four pip loss. So average wins are like around, you know, 10 pips, 12 pips, 15 pips. But 4 pip loss, that's okay. You know, no big deal. Nothing changes over here. What is that remote to the left hand side? That remote to the left hand side is Magic Keys. That's basically a risk managing remote risk managing remote we made over here. I want you to take a look at my previous trades because I feel hesitant of this plan. Oh yeah, because there was this resistance right over here, and then we had another resistance right over here. So I don't know. I mean, if you can send a chart where you took the trade, that would make much more sense. But this is where I guess you were thinking about taking a trade, so it's really hard to understand if you really took the trade or not. But if you look right over here, it was a very good decision to close the entire trade because, you know, it would have came down and hit the full stop loss. You know, so as you trade one pair, you start to understand its nuances. You start to understand, you know, how it moves. So basically you can use instincts to get out of the trade quickly. So this is where we use instinct to get out of the trade. Oh wow, look at that, straight down.
But it's the discipline of mating.
Okay, so let's do this. Let's do a full analysis on pound yen over here on Friday. Let's remove all analysis here, looking at the daily time frame, and let's just do a top-down analysis here first. So looking at the daily time frame, what we can see is that these daily candles are leaving a lot of wicks over here in this vicinity, 144.50 all the way up towards 145. This means these are rejections right over here. So whenever you have rejections, right, you're looking at, and if you think the price is going to continue up to fill these wicks, you're looking at smaller time frames to continue pushing bullish, right? So let's take a look on the 4-hour time frame at this point. Or actually, let's take a look at the weekly here first. So looking at the weekly, there's only one thing we can look at. So back in February 2020, we had weekly candles come up here 144.740, and we rejected it. This is where Corona came and boom, price went down. Right, so this weekly candle is at the same level over here. So now we don't know whether this weekly candle is going to continue pushing bullish, or will it close below this area to potentially continue down during the next few weeks. So looking on the 4-hour time frame, we're basically ranging at this point now. We got a resistance. This is what we were expecting it to break, but I guess, you know, small time frames had other plans, didn't really break up. We got a support down over here. So now if we want to be very cautious about it, especially on a Friday, we can measure this range, 30 pip range, 28 pip range. I mean, yeah, let's just extend it down over here to the 1 hour time frame. Let's take a look on the 30-minute time frame here. Yeah, we're just ranging over here now. I would label this as a no trade range at this point. The only thing I was looking at was this right over here. This is the reason that I executed buys. This reason right over here, right? Price came up, created a high, came back down, created support, and anticipated next candle to go up. But that didn't happen, so that's it. No more trades over here. Now, even if you look for sells, this is the problem with sells, right? If you look for sells, you have a support over here. If we break the support, you have another support over here. If we break this support, you have another support down over here. And below this, you have another support down over here. So now what you got to do is you got to measure these ranges here, right? So let's go towards the ruler. You measure this range, 5 pip range, not enough range to take a trade. You look at the next range, 10 pip range, not enough range to take a trade. You look at the next one, not enough range to take a trade. Nothing. Now there's nothing at this point. So a good idea to be to close the stream and go back to bed if you trade pound yen, because there's absolutely nothing. Yep, just look at the camera and say bye, see ya. See ya tomorrow. Don't you think a breakout trade on the lower time frame is more probable when candles are approaching high time frame candles? Yes. Yes, it is. What is not enough range? Okay, not enough range means that there's not enough room for price to go down. So if we look at, okay, let's take a look at gold over here, right? For example, let's say hypothetically speaking, if gold breaks below 1817.67, right? If gold breaks below 1817, and if you measure this area, this wick is around 20 pips away, and below this wick you have a support which is like 40 pips away, right? So this is enough range for price to fall into. So if someone wants to take a sell over here, you can easily get like 15 pips out of it, 20 pips out of it, 25 pips out of it, because you have enough room for price to move into. But if you look at pound yen, right over here, pound yen, you have this support right here. If you break this support, then you have another support down over here, right? So if price breaks the support, it's going to come to another support 5 pips away. So that's why there's not enough range at this time. So it gets extremely difficult to, like, you know, take a sell. And also for buys, I mean, you can look how volatile this candle is, right? And volatile candles basically mean the candles that break the highs and they break the lows. You know, so we don't know where that candle is going to close. So that's what's happening at this point. I have a question for you. Even though I only trade one pair, can I analyze multiple pairs but only take trades on them, or will that mess up from my learning one pair? Yeah, I think if you trade, you know, one pair, it's still okay to analyze multiple pairs. Like, I analyze multiple pairs all the time. But the thing is, you'll have to be disciplined enough to just stick to that one pair. That's where the challenge is going to be. So, I mean, if you look at above, you know, 144.850, above 144.850, we have another strong range till 145. Right over here. This is what we've been looking at for price to break. And man, look at this. Look at the date at the bottom. From 2 days ago, we've just been ranging over here. Crazy. I understand why you took the trade, but how come you didn't take the 1 hour bearish close into case? Oh, because I was anticipating the 30-minute to continue bullish. That's why. Alright, let's take a look at this chart over here. This chart is sent by Marlon from the YouTube Gulag. Let's take a look here. This is US 2000. All right, US 2000. You're looking for sells over here for price to continue down. Looks good. The only thing is this is a 30-minute time frame, so you have to keep this support area in mind right over here, right? So even if this candle comes down, you have to keep the support area in mind here, you know, as it comes down over here, because it may reject this area here. But if it breaks below this area, then you're right, we have all this room to continue down. What's this? Is it correct that news will push out always? Mostly respect market structure. What's for you in this? I think news follows technical analysis. Like that's just my view on it. Like news normally it follows technical analysis. I mean, if the price is set up on a 4-hour time frame in a way where it may break out, you know, it's most of the time it's gonna follow that. That's what I've seen. You know, but other than that, like news is very like, you know, it's very uncertain. Like there's a lot of uncertainty involved, like, you know, with news, so you have to be very careful with that too. Let's take a look here. This is pound yen 1-minute chart. Could not break the old high, could have to go down. Okay, nice. You know, I would just say the reason why it didn't work for me was it was just the probability wasn't there, because I've taken these setups numerous times, you know, and most of the times they work, and sometimes if they don't work, I just say, hey, like, you know what, maybe the probability wasn't there, just for my ease of understanding. US 30. So we have a pullback to previous structure. No entry because of no bottom wick. Okay, if closes bullish, entry when low breaks. Nice. Yeah, that's good, because you have a previous candle closing with no wick at the bottom, so you're waiting for now this low to be broken for price to continue down. Yeah, that's a pretty good idea. I would also look at it that way too. So whenever you have a candle closing with no wick, it's better to wait for the next candle to close to kind of like see, you know, where's it gonna go. But you know what? Overall, my bias on pound yen is still bullish. The only problem is that it's in this very dirty range over here at this point now. Will you take another entry now that the candle is bullish? No. Nope. I'm not going to take any entries now since the candle is bullish, because now I got to keep this resistance in my mind over here. Previously, I wasn't taking note of that resistance because I was anticipating this 30-minute candle to continue bullish, but it didn't. So at this time now, I'm going to be keeping this in my mind, because I've taken one loss. Here's the thing, right? I've taken one loss, right? And taking one loss, it means you have to be very careful with the second trade. You have to be extremely careful with the second trade. Now, for the second trade, you have to put yourself in the best position to win. That's what you got to do at this point. And I think a best position to win at this point would be a break above 145. That's where you can put yourself in the best position to win, a break above 145. You know, because already taken a loss, it's a Friday, so it doesn't make any sense to take 2 losses on a Friday. Or it doesn't make sense to, like, you know, take a riskier trade on a Friday and take another loss. You know, so you gotta be very careful. Alright, what's this? Lose your account in the zone over here. That's correct. Golden zones. Golden zones below this area, and a golden zone above this area. Looks good. Yeah, looks good. You got clean traffic hits for the left hand side. You can get a pretty good trade up over here above, you know, 1821. Ooh, this is a good question over here. From experience, do markets usually range after a news week like last week? You know, I think I think what's basically happening is there's nothing happening on the fundamental level. If you look at the countries, if you look at what's going on, we haven't had any Brexit news. We haven't had any major any monetary changes, any policies being released, nothing. We haven't had any breaking news. We haven't had nothing. So I think that's why we're just ranging at this point. If you look at what happened in January, right? Okay, let's take a look at the monthly candles right over here. Let's remove all analysis. Let's take a look at the monthly candles at this point. So if you look at the monthly candles over here, you can see how we had a huge candle in November, December also a huge candle, January came up to this resistance area. So this is the kind of like a pattern that was formed on the 30-minute time frame for price to continue up to these highs. So this is an extremely strong resistance here we're approaching. We approached here previously on December, January, February last year, and now we're approaching this area again. So this is what I'm looking at in the high time frame. If we keep up with this bullish momentum, there's a very high possibility we could continue up towards 148. But then again, now you got to look at what's happening on the macroeconomic level. What's happening is now they're slowly we're opening up economies, but there hasn't been any news yet. We're opening up economies, the vaccines are coming in. So as the economies start to open back up again and the vaccines start to come back up again, that means more retail activity is going to happen. The more retail activity happens, more taxes are generated, more money the government makes, and that's good for the economy overall. And then I guess on the high time frame, you can expect these candles to continue moving bullish, and you can look at that and say, okay, what, maybe we're going to come up to fill these wicks at this point. But we need confirmations on the smaller time frames. So daily has just been ranging over here. So looking on the 4-hour time frame, we're also ranging at this point. So there's a lot of waiting over here now involved. Yeah, it's basically very important to understand these things. Also, if you look at January, what happened? If you guys remember, the first week and a half of January, we just had range, right? We just range in January across all pairs. Then as soon as Biden administration came in, they set some policies, they had some monetary reforms, and then we had a lot of volume at the end of January. So right now, everything is just calm. No one's talking to each other, so that's why we're seeing some ranging here. Gold has volume because, gold always has volume. Okay, let's take a look at this chart here. This is GU. This is a GU chart. No trade range. 21 pips below this area looks good. I think there's another thing you can take a look at over here. I think this is only going to be for educational purposes for you. That if we break below this support, will price come down with one swift candle, or will it kind of like consolidate and come down? That's something you'll have to take a look at, just for educational purposes, because we have range over here to the left hand side, and normally ranges are broken with one clean candles coming down. So I'd possibly be looking at that. Does the news in Forex Factory affects the market immediately? Yes, it affects the market immediately. But it depends too, right? Sometimes it takes a little while for the market to absorb the price, and all those things. So it depends based on that. They just cleared $1,400 a month stimulus. Do you think this will weaken the dollar? I think that will increase the dollar. That's going to make the dollar stronger. Now, some may argue, hey, that's going to increase inflation and that's going to weaken the dollar. That's true. But you got to understand, right? Inflation doesn't happen on 1-hour time frames or 4-hour time frames. That's not how inflation happened. Inflation happened over days, over weeks. Because once the money is printed out and given to people, it's going to take a long time for the market to kind of understand what's basically happening, So it's going to take days and weeks for that news to get absorbed. So in the meantime, as the money comes in, that's considered good for the economy, So market's going to see that as something good for the economy in the meanwhile. So then you're gonna see like dollar gets stronger. But then over time, over months and years, you can say that, oh hey, like what, inflation is gonna come in, because it's not like inflation is gonna happen with a drop of hat. All right, this is gold 4-hour chart over here. So we got a support down over here, looking for break or retest of high time frame resistance. More than likely it's the day to chill. High time frame resistance, and you got a trade range over here. Nice, looks good. So you're looking at 1814 to break or 1826 to break. Yeah, we got all these minor ranges on pound yen over here. Really, really difficult. So now I'm going to label this as a no trade range. It's going to be a no trade range. And this is also going to be a no trade range right over here. Would you have closed this trade? Clean traffic, took sells, expecting price to continue down, closed all BE because it's Friday. Ooh, done for the week. Oh, nice. Nice. So I guess what you got to look at this point is that what would have made you stay in that trade? Maybe looking at the 30-minute time frame, it could have made you stay in that trade. Maybe like, closing partial positions, because if you got scared as this kind of broke the high over here, because it still worked out. I mean, your analysis was spot on, but you gotta look at that. Okay, what would have made you stay in that trade? Like closing partials on like stops at break even, or even no stops at break even. Things of that nature. Do we have a guest for today? No, unfortunately, we don't have any guests for today. All right, let's take a look at this over here. This is GA. Support created, wait for candle to close below 24 pips range. Okay, looks good. Yeah, I think it's a pretty good idea. You have buys up over there, you got sells over here. It's a pretty good idea planned over here. How close are GJ and GA? They are basically first cousins. That's how close they are. GJ and GA, they're related by their aunties and uncles from the pound. Yeah, they're pretty close. All right, let's take a look over here. Second bearish candle, 1 hour rejection. You close the trade over here. Oh, okay. See, we got a support down over here. So this wasn't enough range. This wasn't enough range. So, gotta be very careful on Fridays. Like if you take one trade on a Friday, and if that's a winning trade, call it a day. If you take one trade on a Friday and you manage risk and it's a losing trade, call it a day. So you gotta be very okay with calling it a day on Friday. The worst thing you can do on Friday is to overtrade and over risk. Can't do that. No, none of that. No overtrading, no over risking on Fridays. All right, let's take a look here. This is another GA chart. Someone's looking for sells, and we're looking for buys above. Oh, this area. Okay, you're looking for buys above all this mess. All this mess over here looks good. You got clean range down over here, even though we got some consolidation here, but you're really expecting price to continue down in this range. And then you got clean range up over here. Yeah, it's pretty good. A lot of waiting around over here on Friday, but I hope this works out. I hope next week is filled with volume. That's what I hope. We'll see what the next week brings. Let's take a look here next week over here, see what's going on. Yeah, I think this is a pretty good idea to take a look at for next week. So next week, Sunday, Valentine's Day. Good luck, everybody. We got US dollar holiday Monday. low volume. Of course, we got Chinese New Year. All right, look at that. We got unemployment rate over here. We got FOMC minutes, core retail sales, high volume day. You know, Wednesday. Wednesdays are always like high volume day, mostly. More unemployment claims. Ooh, we got amazing, massive news on Friday for Euro. Nice. We'll see what happens next week. Hey Raj, I've improved trading skills thanks to you and market fluidity, but I feel I just need some more experience. Should I buy the soft 4FX simulator? Yes! The simulator is going to help you a lot. It's going to help you a lot, the simulator. What you can do is you can ask someone in the group to see if someone wants to go 50-50 with you, because when you buy the simulator, for people who don't know what the simulator is, this is the simulator right over here. Right, so you can basically simulate charts and you can trade as if it's a real chart, right? Like this here. So when you buy this, you get 2 licenses, right? You can get 2 licenses, so you can basically share with one person. So then it's going to cost you like 50 bucks. Pretty good. I've used this for years, man. I've been using this for about 4 years now. As a guest, why not pick someone from the Gulag? No, we want a guest to provide value. You know, and I don't think a lot of people from the Gulag are going to qualify for that. This is another no trade range and sells below this area. Nice. Looking good, looking good. Let's take a look at your JPY. Oh, gold is also breaking down over here in the 15-minute time frame. So if we stay below 1817, there's a very high probability we're going to continue down to 1813. So let's take a look at your JPY here. All right, so looking at the 4-hour time frame, let's remove all analysis. The first thing we can see is how this 4-hour candle has a lower wick over here, right? It has a lower wick. We basically created a resistance at this point. We broke above this area. This 4-hour candle is about to close. We don't know whether this 4-hour candle is going to close above 127.140 or is it going to close below 127.140. So you got to wait for that. Looking on the 1-hour time frame here, however, we see we're still in a range over here at this point. So I think it's going to be a better idea to wait for the 4-hour candle to close, because if the 4-hour candle can close above 127.140, that means it's rejecting this area as support and closing above it, which means there's going to be a higher probability for the next 4-hour candle to continue moving bullish. So we still got about 2 hours left for this 4-hour candle to close. This is pound yen 4-hour trendline break and retest for price to continue moving bullish. Wickety wick, I agree with this buying analysis. The only thing is we need to break above, 144.850 for it to really continue moving bullish. So you got to be careful, on a Friday over here. Because I think if we break above 144.850, we should continue up to fill this wick, which is also going to be the 4-hour wick fill. And then we're going to encounter this resistance at 145. Camille, Mr. Camille, hey, can you take a look at my chart? All right. Let's take a look at this chart over here. This is Euro New Zealand. Oh, nice. Money setup. Oh, beautiful. I think this looks much better on the 30-minute time frame as well. This is something what I was looking for on the 30-minute time frame on pound yen. Hey Raj, I blew my $30,000 account and now I'm back to my job and I'm also happy. Oh, nice. Yeah, that's pretty good, man. Like, as long as you're content with what you're doing, at the end of the day, that's what counts. Beautiful. Looks like we're also going to be running some testing here on Dominion markets this weekend. Pretty excited for that. Let's see here. Is this Austrian Silver Forex live stream? No, man. Let's not insult us with that. Let's keep all the insults to ourselves. All right. Mr. Ismail. All right, let's take a look at this chart over here from the Gulag. This chart is sent by Mr. Ismail from YouTube. This is a pound AUD chart. We're waiting for 30-minute candle to close below support to correct previous move. Okay, looks good. You know, here's the thing. So let me just break down GBP AUD here a little bit. And all right, so gold looks like we should be continuing down over here. Anyway, so GBP AUD, right? When we're looking at GBP AUD, what we're looking at is also this consolidation area to the left hand side as well. You know, if we break below the support, we cannot ignore this area here, right? Because as price comes down, there's a probability it may reject this area here again, because this is where we form a resistance for consolidation. We had support for consolidation at the bottom end too. But if price continues down, and if we break below this area, then there's a high probability it's going to continue moving bearish. That's what I'm looking at. Well, that's what I would want to see. Also, we're looking at this now. The 15-minute candle is about to close on gold, and yeah, it's very clean that gold should continue down to fill these wicks here now. 1812, 1811, 1813. You look at the 4-hour here as well. Look at the smaller time frames. You know, we're slowly breaking below this area. 15-minute candle is also about to close. If I join Microfluidity but cannot attend the seminar on the 21st, will you be posting it on the website? Yes. Of course, man. Imagine we do a webinar and it's not posted anywhere. What's the point of doing a webinar? A lot of people are going to get mad. Come on, man. Where's the webinar? Tell us when to please sell. Probably not right now. You know, the candle's about to close in like a minute and 5 seconds. You gotta wait at this point. Why are you branding Raja Banks instead of Wixnote Live? Because my name is Raja Banks. So that's why. You can see the sign there at the end over there. Oh, right there. Hey Raja, what did you mind on the trade that didn't reach the stop loss, but you closed the winning trade because of managed risk or overthinking? It was basically managing risk at that point. Because if you look at the 30-minute time frame, my stop was below the 30-minute candle and I was expecting it to continue moving bullish, but it came bearish and I closed my trade, and then I decided to call it a week over there at that point. You know, so even though if it goes up right now, it's not going to affect me at all. Because, you know, the thing is, in trading, when you make a decision, you got to stick to that decision. You know, you can't go back on your decision. So I made that decision to close, knowing that there's a probability it can go up, also knowing that there's a probability it can go down. You know, so you got to stick with your decisions at that point. Sometimes what happens is that guys are going to put stops at break even, and if price hits their break even, they'll be like, oh man, it hit my break even. I didn't want to close the trade at break even, but it already did. I don't know what to do. It's frustrating. Here's the thing. When you put stops at break even, you're accepting that break even outcome. You know, you're accepting those outcomes. So if you don't want your trade to close out at break even, don't put it at break even, you know, if you're not going to accept that outcome. So you got to accept every sort of outcome whenever you place a trade at break even or stop loss or take profit. It's very important.
Hey, good morning, Raja.
Hey, good morning.
How are you?
Good.
Good. I just want to ask you a question. You know the webinar that you're going to be doing on in March, you and a few other people.
Hmm.
Can you talk about it just so I can know what it's going to be about exactly?
Honestly, I have no idea. And that's honestly what I know is from my side that I'm going to be speaking on risk management. That's all I know.
Okay, so basically they just did the whole thing and they just sent you an email. Oh, we want to have you as a speaker, basically.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. I see. Makes sense. Okay,
Yeah.
no worries.
Yeah, I have no idea what's going on, what's it for. All I know is that I'm going to be talking risk management, and that's it with a bunch of other people.
You don't know the other people, I guess, huh?
No idea. I don't know anyone. I don't know any one of those people.
Okay,
Yeah,
makes sense. All right, thanks.
yeah, you're welcome. All right, let's take a look at this chart over here. Ooh, gold sell executed sells when price broke the low of the previous 15-minute, anticipating a wick fill on the 4-hour chart. Oh, nice. Nice, that's beautiful. I think it's going to continue moving here on gold. Once we break this low again at 1815, I think there's enough range for gold to continue down to 1813. How would you dictate when to wait for 30-minute close and 15-minute close? Any advice? You know, Mr. Coaster Kingdom, that comes with experience. You know, that basically comes with experience. I mean, over here at this point, as the 30-minute candle was coming down, I also looked at the 15-minute candle, and 15-minute candle was breaking the low of the previous 15-minute candle. So that told me, hey, like, you know what, maybe I want to be a little bit risk averse at this time. It's also Friday, so I decided to close everything. Right? So, I mean, it comes with experience. Like the more you see price move on the same pair, the more you see price move at the same time every day, the more you're going to start to understand, like, you know, different time frames, the way they're closing, the way they're moving, you know, and then like the more you try to like trade and paper trade, you're going to start to understand more about the movements of different candles, you know, because mostly I was talking to I was talking about this to someone yesterday, and I told them, hey, like, you know what, if you're waiting for the 1 hour candle to close, you gotta understand, if you want the 1 hour candle to close bearish, you want the 4 15-minute candles in that 1 hour candle to stay bearish as well. And you know what the guy said? The guy said, why does the 1 hour candle has 4 15-minute candles? And I just didn't bother replying after that because I was just like, I was stunned. I was just like, what? I just I just didn't reply to them, and I'm just alright. You know what? Just forget about it. How is the simulator? So, like, you know, people like that do exist, you know, and I don't know whether it's like a comprehension problem or is it like understanding basic logics of things, or I don't know. I just don't understand how can that happen. Yeah, that was someone on IG basically. How's the simulator different from backtesting? Simulator is better than backtesting because during a simulator, you can see candles forming. You know, on TradingView, like candle replay, you can't basically see that. Hitterman on the guest speaker list for what you are speaking on is a known fraudster. You need to check who you are associating with. Well, I don't know. I'm not associating with everything. Probably I'm going to steal the limelight, man. Who knows? There are 4 speakers. Probably I'm going to be the best one. I don't know. For me, it's just like someone invited me to speak on something. I'm like, okay, no problem. Um, okay. Let's take a look here. Yeah, I was still ranging here. Gold is still deciding whether it's going to continue breaking down or not on the 5-minute time frame. It's pretty good because we're kind of like retracing, creating this minor support over here. And if we do break this minor support, then we can continue moving bearish. Got this big range to continue down. Is trading your full-time job, or do you do other stuff as side hustles? Man, I'm doing a lot of things on the side. I'm starting a new project where I'm gonna like, you know, maybe partner with somebody to create another six-figure business. That's what I'm looking at. I think I gave her too much information, but yeah, that's what I'm looking at. Because I've created this formula, I think I've created this formula to create like a six-figure business. I don't want to sound like a business guru or anything like that, but I don't know. It's like a challenge, you know? Like it's a new challenge. So we'll see. So I'm going to document that process too. Are you still exploring real estate investing? No, I'm not. I'm pretty busy with the launch of the brokerage now. So the real estate is on the side at this point. Have you ever gone days without taking a trade? Yes, I took 0 trades in December. I took 0 trades in December. January took very little trades. You know, just been really focusing on some work over here. You know, so oh wow, look at that. We're slowly coming down to these lows over here on the 15-minute time frame. And as we start breaking these lows, we should be continuing bearish. I was wondering that I can use this price action strategy for executing on trading stocks. Yeah, I mean stocks is different. Stocks is different in a way because they have different volume. You know, there's different volume in stocks than Forex. So I'm not sure how well that's going to work because it definitely has really different volume. When is it okay to message you on Slack personally with questions or charts to look at, or do we send them? Yeah, you can message me whenever you want, but I do reply. Do you get access to funds from banks? No. Banks just don't give money to people, man. What trading journal do you recommend? The ones I tried come with the price tag. Well, you know, good things come with the price tag. What can I say? Good things do come with the price tag. There's one you can use this for free. It's called Trello. Trello.com. Some people use it, you know. So you can use this. What I do is I just make videos, you know. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over my session every day, and I'm going to make a video about it on, like, you know, how I felt, what I did, what could I have done differently, how could I have executed differently, and yeah, so that's how I keep my journal. So if you look at my journal, it's just a series of videos. Let me see if I can bring that up over here. The way how I do it. Go to desktop, go to website. Yeah, I basically keep a series of videos. Yeah, I can't bring that up over here without disclosing a lot of information. Yes, if you see right over here, Gulag can see this here. So I have all these videos I make, you know. So I explain to myself how could I have done things differently, what could have done things better, you know. And this way I learn a lot more about myself and the trades I took or the trades I could have taken. So just basic videos I make. So looks like we are moving up over here. It is what it is. Missed the trade over here. It's okay. Probably a dumb question, but do you have any reversal strategy? No, there's no such thing as a reversal strategy. There's only one strategy, and that strategy is following the trend. So if you look over here, we got to follow this trend over here. The trend is down. You look at the 30-minute time frame. 30-minute candle is about to close in 4 minutes, and there's a very high probability for the next 30-minute candle to continue bearish. Looks like pound yen is also gonna continue moving up. And I remember there was someone in the Gulag who said to take the opposite trades or the opposite bias to us, and you're gonna win all the time. Well, probably it's not gonna happen today. Isn't too much risk trading with just support resistance? You know what? There's too much risk trading with a lot of indicators. That's what it is. There's way too much risk trading with a lot of confluences. There's very little risk trading with just one confluence. So I mean, if you're gonna start trading with, like, let's say, Fibonacci's, you got to stick with that. If you're gonna start trading with trend lines, you got to stick with that. Support resistance, you got to stick with that. Supply demand, you got to stick with that. So you got to stick with just one thing. The main problem is that when people, they trade with, let's say, trend lines, they want to add support resistance. They want to add Fibonacci's to that. They want to add, like, RSI to that, divergence to that. So that's when things get a little complicated. When you add a lot more confluences to just one style of trading. And I was going to make a video about this too yesterday. Actually, I'm going to make that video today about, like, too many things to use as confluences. I just use one thing, like, I mean, if price breaks support, there's a high probability for it to continue down. That's all what I look for. So if you look right over here, we're breaking above this resistance, so there's a high probability for price to continue moving up. You look at pound yen over here, we're about to close in about 30 minutes. Actually, the 30-minute candle is also, like, filling this range over here, so there's a high probability for the next candles to continue moving bullish towards 145. What's the best broker for EU? I have no idea. I don't live in EU. I live in Canada. I heard someone mention a live session tomorrow. Where do I find access to that? It's going to be posted in the announcements later on. All right, looks like we should be moving up in this range over here, in this 11-12 pip range at this point. How do you break the urge of trading other pairs when your pair is ranging? I saw gold and felt tempted to take a trade because GJ has been rangy and I lost a couple bucks. Well, just read your question again. You mostly trade GJ and you got enticed to trade gold when you shouldn't trade gold and you lost a couple bucks. So next time, just focus on GJ. Don't focus on something you don't know nothing about. That's something very important. So if I'm going to trade GJ, I'm only going to focus on pound yen. I'm not going to focus on something I don't know anything about. Like yesterday, we were looking at pound yen. Pound yen was ranging, but when we looked at gold, pound AUD was moving really, really well. So, like, I didn't take a trade on pound AUD. I focused on basically only pound yen at that time. If you didn't take a trade already, would you take a trade? Would you take the GJ buy as it breaks the 30-minute high? All right, let's take a look over here. So as this 30-minute candle breaks the high over here, the only problem is that you have a 10 pip range up to 145. That's the only problem at this point. You got a 10 pip range at this time. So you really need price to break above 145 to continue moving bullish. But it does look good to continue up, because if you look on the 1 hour time frame, we've broken above these highs here, we've broken above 144, 850. Our analysis was correct, but I think the execution was a little bit too early at this point. If you look on the 30-minute time frame, especially here. Yeah, the execution was too early at that point. Hey Raja, I have a problem with time frames. I don't know which time frame to trade, scalp or higher time frames. That's something you have to create a plan. Here's the problem, right? Like, a lot of people, they go around trading without any like, you know, mentors or without any education. The thing is, like, people think that all education is free on YouTube, which it is, but you need some guidance, you know. So get someone to help you. So this is why we do these live streams, you know, to kind of like help people, you know, to like guide them in the right direction a little bit, you know. But overall, you do need guidance in trading, because this is something new. This is a skill, you know. So it's better to really learn the skill the correct way and move forward with that, because there's only so much you can do, like, you know, on your own, basically. I'm surprised you didn't take buys. Yeah, obviously, you know, because I already took one trade, it was a loss, and I got to stick to my rules. And my rules on Friday says that if I take a losing trade, I have to call it a day. So that's why I'm not going to take another trade, because, you know, I already took one loss over here.
That's discipline, no cap.
Yeah. Yeah, because if I take a trade over here, and this range is what, like 9 pips, 8 pips, and if price comes down, and then I'm gonna lose a trade, and now I'll say, oh man, Raja, come on, what a dumb mistake you did over here. You took a buy in a small range, you know. So better would be to wait for price to break above, you know, 145, if I'm really looking to take buys. Plus gold as well, now it's on its way to continue bearish too.
Yeah, looks like gold's gonna give us a nice squeeze to the downside today. Last night was really clean sells on gold, to be honest.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, during Mac streaming.
Mm.
Yeah. Really easy, no pullbacks, zero stress.
Alright, gold 1 hour idea included. Told me yesterday about taking advantage of smaller zones. Let's take a look at this chart over here. Take advantage of these clean candles. Sells below 1815. Oh, nice. Yeah, looks good. Looks good. If price comes below this area, right here, looks pretty good. You got first this wick to fill, and then you got this whole support for price to continue down to. Yeah, it looks pretty clean. Looking at the 1 hour time frame, yeah, it looks good over here. We got 25 minutes left for this 1 hour candle to close. 30-minute candle is also bearish. 15-minute candle is also like kind of like retesting that broken support. It just needs to continue bearish for us to give us that confirmation. Now we can continue moving down. This is where trading becomes extremely delicate, right? Because you got to wait for those confirmations, especially on Fridays. Why is this week so hard? Because there's very low volume this week, which is why this week is extremely hard.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Yesterday I wasn't so sure that we had this area right here, strong area. But man, it's been a messy area. We haven't closed anything about that thing.
Yeah.
So, like you said, clean buys are gonna be about 145. Easy buys. Other than that, it's dangerous, man. It's Friday. At any given point, it can give you a nice wick to the upside to retest that resistance and then close back in range, and can give you a headache. Trading in range is dangerous, especially on Friday. If you want to make up the losses from the wick, man, it's gonna hurt. To be honest, I'm not planning to take any trades unless I see something on GG about 145. And gold, I will wait for anything breaking below 1815, and then retest that support around 1859, 1590. Then it's gonna give you a nice drop. But other than that, it can continue ranging in this area because the weekly candle already did the move that was supposed to be. Yesterday was a massive drop and I missed it.
Oh. Let's take a look over here. 4-hour chart, trendline break and retest. Nice. See, if this volume stays in over here, we should see a break above 145 and continue moving up towards at least 145, 300. The 4 hour is now turning bullish. We're approaching this major resistance at 145. Hey Raja, normally you don't execute when in range, but today you anticipated bullish volume. How often is this successful? Because of the high time frames, high time frames are all bullish. 4-hour candle was mainly creating like a liquidity wick over here. We basically identified, but the only problem was there was this minor resistance here which we had to break up, and we did break up, and I think from here it should continue moving bullish at this point as well. But now we have this strong resistance at 145, which we can have clean buys above this area. But also it's a Friday, right? So you got to be very careful about Fridays. There has to be a good reason why you stand up at your desk. Do you mind explaining why? Yeah, so I don't yawn, so I don't get tired. So that's why that's why I stand at my desk, so I stay active. I stay alert. A lot of people took these buys on GJ. Yeah, it looks like it. Where is the best place to sell Bitcoin online that doesn't require for a SSN for sign up? I have no idea what that is. Probably someone in the Gulag knows more about it than I do. Ooh, wow, look at that. Looks like it's going to start pushing beyond 145 over here. Looks like our bias was correct. The re-entry was a little too early at that point. The gold drop came after Lynch US session. Okay. When do you think it's the right time to move on from a certain pair to a new pair? That depends on how comfortable you are. Let's say if you're comfortable on pound yen and you're actually pretty good at pound yen, then you can look at going to another pair. So it just depends on how comfortable you are, basically. Like if I'm trading pound yen most of the time, I'm only going to stick to pound yen because that's all I trade. So I think if you're on a pair that gives you enough volatility or that has enough volume during a session you trade, there's no point in moving to another pair, right? Unless you're looking to get some more risky maneuvers like with gold or like things of that nature. Looks like we're coming up towards 145 at this point. And then from 145, we can continue on towards 145 300. This is a range all the way through the left hand side. Impulse buys above 145 or wait for it to close? I don't know. Impulse buys above 145 or wait for it to close. I think it's going to be better to wait for a close. But if price continues moving beyond 145, then it is what it is, right? I know some people took buys around 144, 870, 850 for price to continue bullish, and that's pretty good. And it looks like we are moving up over here. Let's see how big this candle is. This is like a 8 pip candle. Looks like it could come up towards 145 here easy, no problem, because that's our major resistance at this point. And if we continue moving beyond 145, then amazing. See, if I wouldn't have taken this loss over here, I would have entered right at this point here, 144, 900 for price to continue up. But I gotta follow my rules. I gotta follow my rules over here of trading. So I took a loss and I called it a day at that point. Also, it's a Friday, Hey Raja, some people say you should spend sleepless nights in learning Forex. But I think what I will do in sleepless nights, I'll just take one trade a day and then analyze the trade. Your opinion? Yeah, I don't think you need to spend sleepless nights in trading at all. I don't think so. I don't think that's necessary. You just need to focus on one trade a day, 2 trades a day, call it a day, go about your day, have fun, do the normal things you do, and then come back the next day. I don't think spending...
Journal the trade and learn from it.
Yeah, exactly.
Good morning.
Hey, good morning.
Yeah, all the sleepless nights when we started the Forex, yes, that's right. But now I think you need to find a mentor is the best. Somebody who finds a way and he can teach it to you. But I used to have too much nights in drawdown and sleepless.
Yeah.
And now when I found you, I found Urban first, and through some of the groups I found you. It's better to focus on one session, one pair, one trade, and really comfortable with it.
Yeah, my only sleepless nights were while I'd be in drawdowns. That's what my sleepless nights were in the beginning. The drawdown nights.
Yes, it was horrible.
Yeah.
Tons of money lost.
Alright, let's take a look at GJ 15-minute chart. Entered a buy over here as price broke above this resistance. Nice, beautiful. Yeah, this is very nice. This is someone sent in the gulag over here, Mr. Cuento Nirongikilo. I pretty much butchered that name over there, but yeah, it's pretty good. He took a buy over here as this candle closed above support. Beautiful. The NY Open is about to start in about 15 minutes, and I think if we maintain this momentum above 145, we should be pushing beyond 145. Because here's the thing, the weekly candle is about to close, the daily candle is about to close, and if you look at the daily candle, and if it's moving bullish here on a Friday, I think we can easily continue up to fill this wick at 145.070. 100%. This wick right over here. 145.070. Looking at the 30-minute time frame. I feel more comfortable waiting for candle to clear 145 for safer buys. Yeah, that's fine. I'm not in any trade at this time at all. Let's take a look at this chart over here. This is I took this trade once we broke below, caught 18 pips. Oh, nice. and then price rejected that level. Beautiful. Yeah, it looks like with this volume, this could be one of those times where price will give no confirmation, and it could continue moving up towards 145, 060, 070. Could be one of those days where there's no confirmation and price just continues moving. There's one confirmation right over here, but we can all learn. So I've seen this before, so if that happens, I think our anticipation is going to be correct. Without any confirmation, it just goes up. Boom. Can you draw the trade we broke 145, please? Even you don't take it. Okay. Well, right over here, this is going to be a risky maneuver over here. You'll have like an 8 pip stop, anticipating price to continue up towards 145, 070, 080. It's something I've seen before without any confirmations, just price continues moving. Something you could anticipate basically. Let's take a look at gold. Gold is still struggling to continue bearish here. The candle is about to close in 12 minutes. Really delicate situation at this point, because candles keep coming down and they keep retracing. So you gotta wait for the candle to close bearish and for the next one to continue down. If you win a week's worth of trade in one trade, do you stop taking a trade for that week? It depends, like if you've met your goal in the first 2 days, and if you've met your weekly goal, I think what you need to do is you need to take a look at that and say that, hey, like, you know what, I'm gonna just take it slow now. Maybe take the rest of the trades as paper trades or with low risk trades, go about that way. All right, let's take a look at this chart over here. 5-minute chart. Entered at the break of the low, expecting price to continue down. Yeah, but then you had this rejection right over here. So it wasn't a good trade at all. You should have looked at the 30-minute and 15-minute candles here. But it's a good thing you managed risk as well, so that's good. We have another soldier here selling gold. Oh, nice. Selling gold on a 5-minute time frame. We have the support over here. Guys, listen, it's a Friday, right? You got to be very careful. We got a support over here. So you need a candle to close bearish, right? Fridays are days where you are risk averse. You got to maintain risk. You got to be more patient. You got to wait a little bit more, right? That's what Fridays are. If you take losses on Friday because you're looking at, I don't know, all I got to say is, man, it's Friday. Just got to be very, very, very careful on Fridays.
Hey, Raja.
Hey, man.
Just wanted to ask a question, man.
Hey, what's up?
How long in your Forex journey did it take for you to be consistent?
When I realized that all I had to do was just to focus on 1 or 2 trades a day.
And how long did that take?
8 months.
Damn.
Yeah. Took a long.
I've been doing it now for a whole year, and I'm still trying to get the hang of it.
Yeah, man, took a long time. I was talking to somebody yesterday, and he's been with us for about 8 months now, and
Yeah.
he's profitable at this point. And I'm like, what do you do? He's like, yeah, I just focus on one trade in London, and that's about it. And I'm like, man, in my first 8 months, I lost 80 grand trying to like come up with the profitable way to trade.
Damn.
Yeah, and now when I look back, it's just basically 1 or 2 trades a day because here's the thing: the only way you're gonna lose money in trading is if you overtrade and if you over risk. That's it.
100%. 100% agree with it.
Yeah, there's no other way you should lose money.
I gotta start taking just 1 trade a day because these 2 trades a day are killing me right now.
Yeah, man. Even I take just one trade a day because here's the thing, right? If you take 2 trades a day, 3 trades a day, you gotta understand this. You're not gonna get rich within a month or
Yeah.
6 months,
Yeah.
right? So you gotta give it time. Like after 6 months, if you feel like you're consistent, man, you deposit more money and then you do the same thing.
Mm-hmm. If you wanted to take this trade right here, right now, right? How would you want to see it play out?
Well, basically, I would want to act like a Superman, and what I would do is I would just take a buy, have stop below this candle, and really anticipate volume to push price up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I feel like there's going to be no confirmation, and it's just going to continue ripping up.
Yeah. Same. Although it's a really risky trade to take, though.
Yeah, so that's what it is. Either you're going to take the risk on this to risk a loss, or are you going to take a risk on this to follow this momentum continuing all the way up towards 145.070? Because that's going to be the daily wick fill too.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, Roger, for answering my question, my brother. I really appreciate it, and much love. And I really like your hairstyle today.
Thanks, man. It's like they drew it with a marker, you know?
Yeah. Is it still swollen?
No, a little bit. It's a little uncomfy, but it's gonna go away after a couple days.
What made you want to get it? Because you really didn't have bad hair, though.
Well, it was hitting a lot. It was
okay.
hitting from the top, from the sides, you know, and I'm still young, so I researched about it. And what they said like when you're in your 30s, your hair patterns they start to show, you know. But if you wait a little bit more and you lose more, then it gets a little bit harder to, like, you know, keep it that way. So either you can go bald, you know, just like rock the full shave, or you can do something about it. But I have a pretty big head, you know. You know,
Imagine that big hair.
so I got a pretty big head.
Ball head.
Yeah. Well, it's gonna take some time now for it to grow, right?
Yeah, like 6 months, 5 months, 6 months.
Nah, congratulations, my brother. You really deserve it because you work really hard. And you
yeah.
So you're the man.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, so we got around 5-6 minutes left over here, and I still feel like this is going to continue moving bullish. I don't know, I just feel like it. It's one of those days where it's just going to move up, and we're going to say, oh, there was no confirmations. Yeah, gold is also just ranging over at this point. Man, you'd be surprised the amount of people who messaged me and they wanted the contact of the people who did it. Like at least 20-25 people messaged me and asked me privately, hey man, like, you know, who were the guys, like what was the procedure, everything.
Man, you should get a commission.
Oh, no doubt. He already getting commission though. I know my guy.
Was it expensive to get, Raja?
No, it was like, so here's the thing, right? Now I know a lot of guys are also interested. It was 2,300 euros, right? And they pay for your hotel, they pay for your transport too. The flight you gotta pay your own, right? But they covered the hotel, they covered the transport from the hotel to the clinic and everything. So 2,300 euros. It's, yeah, it basically takes a day. Takes a day for the whole procedure, and the next day they do a wash and they give you like medicines and stuff like that. So yeah, it's pretty good. In Canada, they quoted me 23,000.
Damn.
Yeah, man, crazy expensive here.
And what is it that they do? Is it like they're drilling your head with something?
Basically, they take out random hair from the back because
and put it on the front. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But like if your balding is pretty bad, they might take hair from the beard or from the chest.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, when they told me they can take from the chest, I'm like, no way.
Hey Roger, do you have like a big scar in the back of your head?
No. No, so there are like 2 procedures they do, right? One is FUT. FUT is where they take like a scar from the back, like that's when you get a scar. FUE, that's what I got, was when there's no scar at the back. They just take hair from random spots, so it doesn't really, like, show anything.
Damn.
Yeah, so I think if anyone who's interested, who's looking to do it, man, go ahead, get it done.
For 23, I'm definitely gonna get mine done. It's a great price.
Yeah, 23 euros. But what they said was that like a lot of time, like, young people go there, and even some women too. Like, they also get some women as well. And they say, like, if you're in your late 20s or early 30s, that's the best time to do it, because that's when your hair patterns just start to show. That's what you kind of like understand that, okay, which parts are going bald, which parts you need more work done, stuff like that. But when guys had it done in their early 20s, that's way too early, because you're still losing hair, till your late 20s and early 30s. So it's, yeah, so basically you gotta wait too.
And how is it going to grow for you now? Or is it just going to stay like that?
Oh, no, it's gonna grow. It's gonna grow.
It's gonna grow?
Yeah.
It's
So
gonna grow.
basically, what's gonna happen is, like, there are little scabs here, so they will fall off in a couple days, and then they'll just grow like flowers. Like after a while.
Like flowers.
Yeah. So you gotta water it and everything like that. You gotta take care of it.
Yeah.
Are you allowed to put a hat on? Like
No.
if you go outside, or
Yeah, I can go outside, but I think I can put a hat on after 10 days.
Hey, Raja, I just got off a call with some guys from Astro. They wanted to fund me an account for £25,
Oh, nice.
25,000 pounds, but it costs like $250 a month to have it.
Oh, like FTMO.
Oh, FTMO costs something?
Oh yeah, FTMO costs like a one-time fee, but this one cost £250 a month.
Yeah, so that means I would have to make 2%, because they take a 50-50 split from the profit. I would have to make 2% on the account to cover the fee, and then the rest will
Oh.
be profit.
Nice.
I don't know if I should do it though.
I don't know. It's up to you, man.
Yeah.
It's up to you. Because in the start, what they were doing was they were saying, "We'll give you a £100,000 account, but you'll need to deposit £5,000 first." So I think they
Yeah,
changed.
exactly.
Yes, I think they
No,
changed.
that's what he said. That's what he said, but I said no way. And then he said, okay, we can do a monthly installment.
Yeah, no, man. Like, I don't know. I'd probably just, like, 50-50 profit split, man, that's a lot. And on top of
Yeah.
you paying £250 a month, that's a lot.
Yeah. I feel like it puts unnecessary pressure, and suddenly I'm playing against the house, like they're the casino suddenly.
Absolutely, man. Like, that's a good way to make money. Like, that's like if I open
Exactly.
Armenian markets, right? If I open Armenian markets and I can give people, like, $50,000 accounts, no problem, and tell them, hey, like, listen, your leverage is capped, you have a lower leverage, and I'm going to take 50% of the profits. Man, I'm going to be making a killing off of that. But yeah, so I mean, it's all up to you. I would just say, hey, like, just grow your account if you can, just add more money to it and just grow it that way.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you should
That feels like the right decision too.
you should do some research. There's way better option than this.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
Like, can you give me some?
We can do that on a
names?
side conversation. But
Yeah.
yeah.
All right, dope. Thank you.
Dope.
Just read the chat, man, on Zoom.
Yeah. I see it's going crazy.
Okay.
Exactly.
My buddy started getting hair patches on his head and beard. He got small roller. Oh, now we're having some hair conversations here. Well, maybe I can be a guest over here now, the hair transplant guest. All right, first time sending a chart. Let's take a look over here. Oh, nice. So you got this buy trade over here, something that I missed. Beautiful. So I took this buy right around here at a close in a loss, but you got this win here. Amazing. So we did reject this area over there. We didn't really break through it, we rejected that area. Your stream usually gets recommended to me every day, but today I couldn't find it. And even when I went to your channel, I had to go to videos, wasn't even showing on the main page. Oh, interesting. Yeah, I think sometimes it happens that way. Maybe I'm shadow banned today. But I do think we should be continuing out towards 145 and then continuing on. Unless we don't break these lows, right? So here's the thing. We're making these higher lows over here, and we need to maintain these higher lows for price to continue up. I'm not necessarily taking a trade, but I'm just like, you know, for my own education and for my own experience, I'm just keeping an eye on this for to create higher highs and continue moving beyond 145. Yeah, gold, there were no sells on gold. Like, I mean, look, we were waiting for the 15-minute candle to close bearish. No candle closed bearish, so there was no confirmation for sells either. Will you consider multiple position on one pair as one trade a day? Yes. I would say one trade a day is probably going to be one bias a day. You know, like if you have buys and you're, let's say, if you have buys and you're taking like, you know, 4 positions on that one buy, that's going to be one trade. How can I write on Zoom chat, which is on Raja's screen? You can't. Will you do you have a nursery bed on your head for hair germinate? No, I don't know what that is. Man, I don't think that much, trust me. So that we're coming up towards 145. We should continue beyond 145 here. Your JPY is also respecting that support to continue bullish here, looks like it. Pound AUD is rejecting that area here as well. Let's look at Pound USD, see what's going on. Pound USD is also breaking above this resistance here for it to continue up. But we got this consolidation area to the left hand side. Hey, Albert Mello, thank you for this, man. I'm here every single day for the past 3 months and my trading has been impacted positively. I'm now profitable after 4 years of struggling. Oh, beautiful. Nice. Good job. Looks like we're going to fill this weekend with NY volume. We should continue bullish over here. We'll see what happens. Alright, I'll be right back.
Click the button.
Hey guys, I'm getting some message here. People getting excited for buys on GJ, but I mean, just relax there, guys. I mean, body candle are getting smaller and smaller. You got those pretty big, huge wick rejection here to a major QP, so key level. So just wait and chill. We are Friday. Don't do anything stupid. Wait for a solid close above 145, or wait for great timing with NY open or NYSC open. But until then, just chill out, guys. Just chill out.
We're right on 145, so in my words.
Executed buys, closed full position, secured 6 pips at resistance. Nice. Yeah, I think one thing you don't really want to do on Friday is to like take unnecessary risks. You know what I'm saying? No unnecessary risks. Hey Raja, is TMGM a good, legit broker? I tried to deposit using my Canadian Tire MasterCard, however the Canadian Tire did not approve the transaction. When I called, they gave me a scam alert. Canadian Tire MasterCard, I don't know, man. Let's take a look over here. It's nothing to do with the broker. It's mainly TMGM. Let's take a look over here. Oh, it's a New Zealand broker. I don't know. Maybe they don't accept credit cards. Maybe try a bank transfer, instead of credit card. Oh wow, they got a pretty neat interface over here. Nice. All the money you lost when you first started trading, did you make all that back? Yes. Yes, I made all that back in 2017. So lost in 2016, made all that back in 2017, by mid 2017. Alright, looks like gold is coming back down over here, but still, there's no confirmation. Need candle to close. It's about to close in about a minute and a half. Gold 15-minute time frame. So it's very important to wait for the candle to close. Let's take a look at the Chinese indicator and see what's going on. So Chinese indicator is saying pound, yen bullish, pound AUD bullish, gold should go bearish since the dollar is strong. I mean, we can only take it by the ear, right? We can't really rely on it all the time. We got 1 minute left for gold. I think it's going to close bearish over here. And once we break below 1815, I think there's a very high probability we can continue moving bearish. Right below this area. Because after that we got clean traffic all the way down towards 1813. Yeah, 1813, 1812. I've never heard about Chinese indicator prior to coming to this stream. Is it a metric that measure volume? Oh no, that's just a big joke we have. It's nothing really important. It's just like it shows the biases around, you know. So it's showing the dollar is strong, so that means gold should continue down. So looking at it from a technical perspective, it makes sense for gold to continue down, right? Because look now, this 15-minute candle is closing bearish. And the next one, if it breaks the lows over here, I think it's going to continue moving bearish. And then you can take a look at that and say, okay, yeah, you know what made sense over here. All right, let's take a look at this chart over here. This is a pound yen 15-minute chart looking for sells. You know, since trend is bullish, what I would want to see sells is that I basically want to see some sort of a support formed and that support to be broken before taking any sells. That's what I would want to see at that point. You know, so whenever you have an uptrend and price is coming down, you have to understand this, right? Price went up, created resistance. If it's coming down, it's going to create some sort of a support to retest the high, right? If it forms support. And if that breaks support, then you can take a sell. So this is something we talk about in the Impulse Entry webinar, so you need to go take a look at that again. When to take is like, you know, counter trend trades. So you got to wait for technical levels to break in counter trend trades. And as you can see right over here, it wasn't a good idea here at all to take a sell before a support is formed. Where do you see yourself in trading after 10 years from now? I have no idea. 10 years is a very, very long time, man. A lot of things can change in 10 years. Man, a lot of things can change in 2 years or 1 year. Yeah, looks like gold is now continuing down over here, just like we expected. So this was, since morning, this is the only confirmation we got for gold sells at this point to continue down. This is the only confirmation we got since morning. There was no confirmation over here, none over here, none over here. This is the only confirmation we had. So you can see there was a long waiting period over here. Uh, 10 years can pass by really quick. Oh yeah, man, especially when you have kids. Man, time goes by quick. You guys were screaming buys not too long ago. Oh, buys for what? We were screaming buys for pound yen, that's it. Not for gold. Hey Raja, I'm new on your live session, so can you please explain how can take trade with you live and where to put stop loss? Mr. Zubair Sheikh Fitness. I think you should focus on fitness more than copying trades here in the stream. Because, I mean, there's no trade here today. I'm not taking any trades on Friday. I took one trade, it was a loss, and that's it. So I guess you got to come back Monday.
Raja.
Well, there's no trade right now. You got to come back Monday.
I know.
Could this just be a liquidity grab on gold to continue moving bullish for NYSE open? I think for gold to move bullish, you'll need to see it to, I would say maybe you want to see a break above 1820, because then you're going to have clean range for gold to continue up in this 32 pip range here till 1824. You know, because if gold comes back above, let's say 1817, it's going to be in this ranging area over here. But so far, we're moving down. So we can only talk about gold continuing bearish towards, you know, 1812, 1811. Would an impulse entry be appropriate for gold to break below 1815? Let's take a look over here. You know, as long as the next candle respects this high over here, which is very risky because the stop is way too tight over here, I think it should continue bearish. Yeah, see, now it makes much more sense to continue bearish over here. Now you want the next candle to respect the high of the previous candle and really continuing driving down. We're also 10 minutes left for this candle to close, this 30-minute candle to close.
Man, you know what's scary? The weekly candle on gold. Once start breaking its own low. Holy fuck.
Yeah.
Once this weekly candle start breaking, that low is gonna be madness, madness.
Please, how long did you start this video? We've been in almost 2 hours now. We started this 2 hours ago. How long have your mentor supported you? Is your mentor still supporting you? Yes. I mean, that's what a mentor is, right? A mentor supports you along the way. There's a difference between having a mentor and difference between paying someone to be in a group. It's two differences. And as you can see right over here, this candle is respecting the high of the previous candle, and now it should continue down to 1812. Right over here, 1812.
If anybody got in the sales on gold from 1850, secure some profit at 1812, 1813. We don't know if we can reject again that area. It's a strong level. So be aware of that. Other than that, once we start breaking that low, is gonna be quick move. 1810, 1815, 1805, I'm sorry. It would be nice. I'm still haunting these cells.
Ooh, look at that. We tapped 1813.
Yes.
Gold is stressing me today. I don't think I'll trade it anymore. No, because you didn't wait for confirmations. That's why it's stressing you.
Yeah. It's so easy. It's not stressing at all.
Because on the 15-minute time frame, there were no confirmations for sales at all. Nothing.
No, I entered on the 15 break of the low.
Very nice, Gabe.
Yeah. But I already closed it.
Now hold your breath, because if we break that small support,
I know it's gonna go, but I cannot be in it. I still gotta watch it a couple times. I'm not comfortable though. I have to get out of 10 pips.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Dude, it's like gold is a monster. It's scary. You gotta be very, very careful with it. So.
Oh, it looks like pound yen is also starting to move back up over here now.
Sorry.
It's okay, it's okay. Before this 30-minute candle close, I think there's going to be a massive push down on gold as this 30-minute candle comes to a close.
Yeah, I think so too.
I can sense it.
I can feel it.
I can feel it coming in the air tonight.
Oh Lord.
Do you think having a poor, inadequate sleep will affect your trading performance? Yes, it will. It will affect your judgment. It's going to affect your decision making. It's going to affect your alertness in the charts. It's going to affect like a whole broader aspect of things while you're trading. So it's really important to have good sleep while you're trading. You know, I get like a good 6-7 hour sleep before I come to the live streams. That's why you see me always fresh, man. I'm never yawning. I'm never tired. I'm always filled with energy. So you got to do those things for yourself, you know?
Feeling fresh, never stressed.
Yeah, man. No stress. Be fresh.
Oh my god. This gold is... it's so crazy. It's about to drop even more.
Yeah, we were right.
Yeah.
Came down. It's coming up. 1812.
Yeah.
Come on. 1812.
And if we start you know, breaking 1815 to the upside, then I'm gonna close this trade.
Yeah.
Other than that, man, this is a bloodbath for gold.
So see now the last 5-minute candle is about to start right now. So this last 5-minute candle now needs to respect the high of this previous one and needs to break this low in order to get to 1812. See now this is making a liquidity wick over here. This wick should not pass above this wick at this point, and it should continue dropping down.
I don't know, Raja, if it's your mic, but someone's having a lot of noise with his mic. I think that your wire again.
Oh yeah, my wire, my throat. Yeah.
No problem.
Yeah. Ooh, GJ's about to break these highs over here too. About to pump up to 145 at this point. Almost exited my gold sell. Luckily, I stayed in. Well, just put your stops at break even and let the rest run. That's the best thing you can do because we've reached a strong support right over here looking left, right? So wanting it to break this to continue down, there's going to be an extra bonus move you're looking at. So this is why it's important to secure positions and let the rest run. Alright, let's take a look at this chart over here. This is USD JPY, close partials at this area. Wait for 1 hour to close, buys above 105. Oh, buys above this area over here, resistance area. Yeah, it looks good. Just gotta identify. Yeah, we got this range here. This isn't enough range here either. It's like a 6 pip range, 8 pip range. Oh, we made a little bit of a deeper liquidity wick over here. Now we're moving into the second half of this 5-minute candle. Alright, let's take a look at this chart over here. This is Euro JPY. Buys over entry when the candle broke the high over here for price to continue up. Close without wicks, so I closed 50%. Excellent decision here. Trailed my stop loss, got stopped out at 2.5 pips. Beautiful. This is amazing risk management. Super amazing. So you were cautious when this candle closed with the wick on the top. You closed 50% and the rest just amazing. There's nothing better than this, you know, especially on a Friday. And if you look here, gold now is really not going to continue down because we broke the highs over here at this point. So, you know, if someone's taking 3 trades on Friday, 4 trades on Friday, then you guys got to stop that. I took 1 trade, it was a loss, 4 pip loss, you know, it's still okay. Oh wow, your JPY also came down, straight down, created resistance and boom. Like, you know what's the worst thing a trader can do? A worst thing a trader can do is, like, you know when you get in an argument with somebody and you don't want to close the chat or you don't want to walk away because you want to win that argument? That happens to a lot of guys, right? You want to win that, guys and girls too, like you want to win that argument. It's the same thing that happens in trading. When you take a trade and when you take a loss, you don't want to walk away. You still want to take another trade or a third trade or a fourth trade. You don't want to let go of that loss. You know, you get so stubborn because you're like, hey, like, you know what? I want to win this argument from this market. And 100% of the time, it turns very, very bad. You fall into this over trading cycle, and man, yeah, you gotta stop it. You gotta stop it. Story of every man with his wife. Yeah, but the difference is the man gotta stop arguing at one point and just gotta walk away. The ego is dangerous in trading. Yes. The ego is extremely dangerous in trading. Oh wow, looks like we did a deeper liquidity grab over here. The new 30-minute candle is about to start.
Oh my god, I've seen this setup before. This is so perfect. I'm not getting in, but I've seen that happen before.
Where it continues dropping?
Yes.
Yeah, I've seen that too.
Where you on 5 minute, if you go there again. You see, so we have the candle with the big retracement. Because it did the retracement and then it closed without a wick. It's got volume to keep going down. I mean, it's an idea. I've seen that happen on the higher time frames as well before.
Yeah.
The way Gabriel says it, this thing is so convincing.
Oh, I'm sorry. Guys, please do not trade this.
I know, right? He's like, oh my god, oh my god.
I swear on my life.
No, but it's true, man.
Oh, 1812 tapped. Oh,
look at that.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Yeah, the setup is there, man. It's beautiful.
His huge liquidity grab over here.
Yeah, beautiful.
Alright, let's take a look at this chart over here. Executed sells, closed partials. Oh, nice. Runners closed 20-pip profits. Beautiful. Held all the way down towards 1812.68. Does anyone else use Trader's Domain and have a 4-pip spread on GJ? Oh, 4-pip spread on GJ. Interesting. Let's take a look here. My spread is 1.4 pips, 1.1, 1.2. I don't know. I think that's maybe a standard account you're using. Yeah, I have like even 1 pip sometimes. Okay, let's see here. Yeah, nothing's really happening here now. GU is also ranging. Euro JPY is in this range now. Gold is continuing bearish over here as expected. Pound yen is taking its time to break above 145. The risk management workshop that you're having on February 21st, is it interactive? How can we ask questions during the session? It's going to be pretty difficult to incorporate that question session here. And for people who in the Gulag who don't know what it is, I'm just going to bring it up over here now in front of you. Let's see here. Yeah, there we go. All right, let's take a look at this chart. Pound yen. Can an impulsive trade be valid once we break this high? Oh wow, look at that. There it goes.
1810, done so. Let's go.
Let's go. Where are we going?
1810.
Oh.
1810, then 1806.
Wow, this one candle, 25 pips.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Beautiful move here.
It's Friday.
Look at this 5-15 minute was perfect confirmations. One candle, none of these candles closed bearish. One candle closed bearish below these wicks, below the zone. And then just boom, coming down. Yeah, so impulse entry is above 145. I don't know. Maybe it could work. Because if you look on a 30-minute time frame, yeah, that could work above 145. But then again, you're going to be putting your stops below this 30-minute candle. And anticipating it to continue bullish. So during that risk management virtual class, there will be no questions. We won't entertain any questions because some questions they ruin the flow of the whole thing. Because like once I start going or start explaining things, there's a flow, and I don't want and normally all questions are answered, and sometimes guys are not patient enough, and they just start asking questions. So you gotta be very patient. Any idea where proper TP should be for gold? Well, Mr. Riza Podcaster, I think you need to send a chart on where you think gold is going to go. And then we can take a look at that and kind of like advise, you know, maybe if that's a good idea or not. Because this is like saying, hey man, I'm going to start driving, but I don't know when to stop. You know, does it make sense that way? Because when you start driving, you should always know when to stop. And it's like taking a trade. You take a sell trade and you don't know where to take profit, man, that's a problem. Got stopped out and missed out on the move. How could I have done things differently? It's very easy, right? You look at gold 15-minute and you had this one candle come down, right? So I'm going to explain this once, and there's no other explanation other than this. 15-minute candle came down, broke below the support on the 30-minute time frame as well, like, you know, we broke below. And then you needed the next 15-minute candle to break this low to continue down, right? Break the low of the bearish candle to continue down as an impulse entry. But this candle closed bullish, no trade. Next 15-minute candle broke the low of the bullish candle, then there's no impulse trade that way, so no trade. Next one bullish, no trade. Next one bearish, this was your confirmation, and then this was your entry right over here for price to continue down when we were talking about it. And there's no other explanation other than that. No 5-minute, no nothing, just on the 15-minute, because it's a Friday and you got to be very, very cautious as well on Friday. So that's why we look at the 15-minute instead of 5-minute. Oh, damn, pretty loud over there. Looks like GJ is also having problems breaking above 145. Let's take a look on the higher time frame here. We're coming down. The only thing I'm looking at over here to the left hand side is this wick at 1808.28. Yeah, 1808.28. Big support right at this point over here. Even at 1809. Amazing.
Yeah, but the good thing is, Raja, if we get there, because the weekly candle might support on the weekly candle.
Oh, okay.
The support on the weekly candle, where I have my support, is 1806. So, let's see, yeah, 1806, 1807. So if we get there, man, it's gonna be a bloodbath because we have the clear traffic to the downside to cover that previous wick on the weekly candle. I'm not saying that we're gonna get there today, but that means that if we close bearish today, the way it's closing right now, this the daily candle, man, on Monday it's basically the continuation for this move.
Oh yeah.
So the target for Monday can easily be 1790.
And you know what, Kerbin? I think that makes sense too, because technically, like if this weekly closes bearish, right? So, okay, let me just remove all the analysis here. So if you look at this weekly candle with the big rejection, and if you look at this 5-minute right over here with this big rejection, kind of like the same thing, right? So if this closes bearish, we not only have this wick to fill, but also with the US sending out money to people, stimulus could also push gold down, as that's going to increase the dollar.
Yeah.
Yep. Technically and fundamentally makes sense.
Yeah, basically the value on dollar is lower. I mean, because they're basically just printing money, but at the same time they're injecting this money into the markets, into the economy. So, you know, if people have money to spend, they go, they shop, and they start moving the economy, basically.
Yes.
Who's gonna pay for that money? That's That's a good question, but I'm not gonna get into that conversation now.
Oh man, it's going to increase inflation so much because look at it this way, right? All these people who are going to get this money, they're going to get this money by doing no work. So there's going to be no value provided to earn that money. You know, and it's just going to increase prices so much. It's insane in the coming years.
Also, to add on, Raja, is remember minimum wage in the States, they just bumped up to $15 an hour. So in the next couple of years, it's going to get raised. So you automatically know inflation is going to increase dramatically with that alone.
Oh, yes. Can you do quick top-down analysis on the US 30? All right, let's take a look over here. So looking on the weekly time frame, we're really bullish over here. Let's remove all analysis. Let's take a look to the left hand side. So there's basically nothing to the left hand side, right? We've broken all the highs here. Looking at the daily time frame, we're basically ranging here now, right? We've broken above this resistance here as well, 31,000. Looking on the 4-hour time frame, it's at a strong resistance at this point. Let's look down at the 1-hour time frame here. Yeah, I think we're at a resistance here on the 1-hour time frame here as well. So we need to break above this area to continue on up to this next resistance, which is, how far is that? It's like 40 points away, 50 points away, 40 points away. There's not enough range. It's pretty difficult here. I mean, the only thing I can see is like if price rejects it and starts coming down back to, like, you know, I mean, this support right over here, that's the only thing I see at this point. And that range as well, it's like a 66 point range. So we need to break above this area to continue up. We got clean traffic here to the left hand side. But I guess you're going to see that in about 40 minutes, 45 minutes as we move close to New York Stock Exchange open. I'm seeing where my zoning isn't quite clear. Yeah, so basically the 1-hour resistance you can see very clean here, right? Because looking left to this candle, you got resistance, but support is kind of like messy. I mean, you kind of got a support over here, but then on the 1-hour you got a support way down over here as well. So it's kind of like messy at this point. It's just, yeah, I mean, you got like a smaller minor zone over here as well, so it's not that clean at all. On average, what's a good range? For myself, if I'm going to taking a trade on, let's say, pound yen, a good range is going to be like a 20 pip range. If I see a 20 pip range, it's going to be a pretty good range for me to trade in. But listen, guys, it's a Friday. I'm not really going to exert myself on a Friday by looking at charts and trades over here. So I'm going to call it a day here, and I'm going to enjoy my weekend here now. I hope everyone has a good weekend as well.
Yeah. All right, man. Have a good weekend.
Have a great weekend, Raja.
Yeah, man. Thank you, everyone.
Bless.
God bless you.
Take care. God bless you too, BPK.
Septike.
Gracias. Shukriya.
Alright, gulag.
Obrigado.
Thank you.
Alright, take care, everyone.